Hey Bougie Clique. Let's deep dive into a topic that's often whispered about but rarely confronted head-on, the savior complex and its magnetic pull on certain women towards partners like Pookie, Ray, and bottom shelf Brad. Imagine a scenario where the thrill of transforming a partner overshadows the desire for a balanced relationship. For some women, the choice to be with a man who seems to be perpetually under construction isn't mere coincidence, it's a strategic move rooted in deep-seated psychological patterns. Join me as we unravel the layers of this intriguing dynamic. If you're ready to seek healthier connections, you're in the right place. Let's get into it.
I'ma make you a fan.
The savior complex, why women can't resist Pookies, Rays, and bottom shelf Brads. You know that friend who keeps dating men who can't keep a job, can't manage their emotions, and can't seem to adult their way out of a paper bag? The one who swears she's helping him reach his potential while he's on her couch playing video games at 2 p.m. on a Tuesday? Yeah, we're going there. Research from the Journal of Family Violence reveals that individuals with anxious attachment styles, characterized by a deep fear of abandonment, are significantly more likely to engage in controlling relationship behaviors. These women aren't just randomly stumbling into relationships with underperforming men. They're strategically selecting partners who trigger their savior complex while guaranteeing they'll never be left. According to Adlerian psychology research from 2023, individuals with superiority complexes often mask deep-seated inferiority feelings by surrounding themselves with people they perceive as lesser. The data is striking. Women with documented superiority complexes are 3.7 times more likely to enter relationships with financially dependent partners. This isn't about love. It's about control. The psychology of picking Pookie, Ray, and bottom shelf Brad. For some women, the allure of dating Pookie, Ray, and bottom shelf Brad isn't just about control, it's about feeling superior. By choosing partners perceived as beneath them socially or economically, these women can feel a sense of superiority. This selection process is not about finding a partner of equal standing but about ensuring they are always one step ahead. Interestingly, studies show that women who pursue such relationships often have a history of low self-esteem, with over 70% reporting feelings of inadequacy in past relationships. By aligning themselves with partners who are seen as projects, they can position themselves as the savior, boosting their self-worth through a perceived ability to fix their partner. Bottom shelf Brad. Some women actively seek unemployed, unmotivated, or emotionally damaged men because fixing someone feels like love when you've never experienced the real thing. The power dynamics researcher Gwendolyn Seidman found that people susceptible to boredom and those with high anxiety specifically seek partners they can dominate. Think about it, a successful man might challenge you. He might have options. He might expect you to level up too. But bottom shelf Brad? He's grateful. He needs you for basic survival. You're not his girlfriend, you're his mother, therapist, and parole officer rolled into one. Recent research on reverse hypergamy, where women choose partners with lower educational or economic status, shows this isn't about love conquering all. It's about power dynamics wrapped in a pretty bow of potential. The statistics are sobering. Women with anxious attachment are 3x more likely to stay in unsatisfying relationships. Control dynamics in relationships directly correlate with childhood attachment insecurity. These women are choosing losers because losers are manageable. A man with options might leave. A man with nothing offers the illusion of permanence through dependency. The Pookie paradox. The same women who complain about their man-child partners are often the ones enabling the behavior. It's not an accident, it's architecture. By choosing men who need fixing, they create a dynamic where they're always the hero of the story. They maintain moral superiority, look what I put up with. They avoid the vulnerability of equal partnership. They get to blame relationship failures on his inadequacies, not their choices. The modern intimacy research on savior complex reveals that these relationships often stem from an inability to receive love without earning it through rescue missions. Psychology research identifies specific traits in women who gravitate toward troubled men. High empathy coupled with low boundaries. Anxiety about abandonment. Need for control disguised as caregiving. Childhood exposure to dysfunction normalized as love. These women aren't randomly falling for Ray Ray. They're strategically selecting men whose circumstances guarantee dependence. A man in prison, on probation, or on parole literally cannot leave you. He can't surprise you with unexpected life choices. He exists in a controlled environment where you dictate every aspect of the relationship. Victimhood as a strategy. Another layer to this narrative is the tendency for some women to adopt the role of the victim to gain attention. The victim mentality can be a powerful tool for garnering sympathy and care from others. For some, it's the only way they know how to elicit emotional support. The act of choosing a partner with a troubled past can serve as a premeditated path to victimhood, allowing them to narrate a story of struggle and endurance. Psychological research highlights that individuals who frequently position themselves as victims often do so to fulfill a deep-seated need for affection and affirmation. By choosing partners who are likely to fail or disappoint, these women can perpetuate a cycle where they are frequently the wrong party, thus securing the attention they crave. The "I need to be needed" epidemic. According to attachment theory research, approximately 15 to 20% of adults exhibit anxious attachment patterns that manifest as an overwhelming need to be indispensable in relationships. These women don't just want love, they want dependency disguised as devotion. The psychology is devastatingly simple. If he needs you to pay his phone bill, he can't ghost you. If he relies on you for emotional regulation, he can't replace you. If you're the only one with a car, a job, and a plan, guess who holds all the cards? Studies on the savior complex show that individuals with this pattern often experienced early childhood dynamics where their worth was tied to their utility. They learned that love meant being useful, not just being. Dr. Sophie Jablonski's 2024 research on financial imbalances in relationships revealed a disturbing pattern. Women who out-earn their partners by more than 60% report higher anxiety about their relationships ending, not because they fear losing love, but because they fear losing their identity as the strong one. The statistics paint a clear picture. 67% of women in control-based relationships grew up as parentified children. 71% report previous relationships with equals that ended in betrayal. 89% conflate being needed with being loved. 94% show signs of anxious attachment styles. Dating down on purpose. The savior complex isn't about being noble, it's about being necessary. When you pick a man who can't function without you, you're not building a relationship, you're constructing a cage where you hold all the keys. Codependency is present in 89% of relationships where one partner has substance abuse issues. Think about that statistic. These women aren't accidentally stumbling into these dynamics, many are unconsciously seeking them out because dysfunction feels like home. The need to be needed stems from three core fears. Fear of abandonment: if he literally can't survive without you, he can't leave. Fear of inadequacy: being the together one masks your own insecurities. Fear of genuine intimacy: it's easier to fix someone than to be vulnerable with an equal. The economics of control: when your relationship is your power trip. The numbers tell an interesting story. While traditional hypergamy, marrying up, is declining, we're seeing a rise in strategic hypogamy, women deliberately choosing partners with less education, lower income, or fewer life skills. Since 1990, educational homogamy, marrying at your level, has been steadily declining. Women now hold 60% of all bachelor's degrees, creating what researchers call a marriage squeeze. But here's the plot twist: some women are using this imbalance not as a challenge to overcome, but as an opportunity to maintain control. When you're the breadwinner, the decision-maker, and the adult in the room, you never have to worry about being challenged, questioned, or, God forbid, asked to grow. The Mother MC Bangmaid phenomenon. You become mother, therapist, accountant, life coach, and bedroom entertainment all rolled into one. You're not a girlfriend or wife, you're a rehabilitation center with benefits. These relationships follow a predictable pattern. Phase 1, I can fix him, the honeymoon delusion. Phase 2, why isn't he fixed yet? The frustration stage. Phase 3, maybe if I just try harder, the burnout begins. Phase 4, I can't leave because he needs me, the trap snaps shut. Research confirms that untreated codependency leads to chronic stress, with 60% of codependents showing elevated cortisol levels. You're literally poisoning yourself with your own savior complex. The control masquerade. What these women call love is actually control wearing a push-up bra. They confuse being needed with being loved, because need is predictable and love is terrifying. Research on the savior complex reveals that these relationships follow a toxic pattern. Selection phase, choose someone obviously beneath your league. Rescue fantasy, convince yourself you can fix them. Power consolidation, become their everything, financially, emotionally, logistically. Resentment build, get angry when they don't transform into your fantasy. Victim narrative, tell everyone how you gave everything to someone who didn't deserve it. The mathematics of being a meal ticket. He doesn't want you, but he needs your credit score. He's not attracted to you, but he's attracted to your stability. He won't choose you in his heart, but he'll choose you on his lease. He's not in love, but he's in need, and that feels safer than risking real intimacy. Women who consciously choose this dynamic aren't stupid. They're strategists who've decided that being used on their terms beats being left on someone else's. They'd rather be the employer in a transactional relationship than the employee in an emotional one. But here's what this power actually costs: you're paying someone to tolerate you. You're financing your own rejection. You're literally funding the lifestyle of someone who'd leave if the direct deposit stopped. That's not power, that's purchasing the illusion of permanence. The Dr. Simone dilemma, when success meets bottom shelf. Let me paint you a picture that just played out on Married to Medicine Season 12, and honey, it's a masterclass in what happens when successful women carry the weight of underperforming partners. Dr. Simone Whitmore, a whole 58-year-old OBGYN surgeon, just had her family drama go viral after refusing to pay for her 22-year-old son Michael's law school. The dinner conversation turned into a full confrontation when Michael suggested his parents should fund his legal education. Dr. Simone wasn't having it, calling him straight up entitled after learning he'd racked up between $60,000 to $64,000 on her credit card in just 1 year. 1 year. $60,000. And then this boy had the audacity to want a new car. While she's ready to set boundaries and teach financial responsibility, guess who wasn't backing up the woman who pays the bills? Cecil, her husband. Cecil is playing the conciliatory role. Translation? He's avoiding conflict because he's not the one whose credit card got maxed out. He's not the primary breadwinner who's been carrying this family financially while building a medical practice. Dr. Simone herself said she wanted to choke him out watching back how entitled her son had become. And now? This same son who couldn't manage a credit card just upgraded from a Jeep to a Tesla on Simone's dime. Throughout the series, we've watched Dr. Simone carry the financial load while Cecil's various business ventures come and go. She's out here delivering babies and performing surgeries while he's doing what exactly? And then when it's time to parent, to set boundaries, to say no to their entitled son, he's silent. This is exactly what happens when successful women choose partners who can't match their drive. The kids see it. They learn that mom is the real authority, the real provider, the real parent. And dad? He's the fun one, the easy one, the one who won't challenge them because he's not in a position to. Dr. Simone isn't just fighting her son's entitlement, she's fighting the dynamic she helped create by choosing a partner who couldn't stand as her equal. When you're the only one capable of saying no, you become the villain in your own home while your partner gets to play Switzerland. But somewhere deep down, she'd rather be the only adult in the room than risk being in a relationship of equals. Love After Lockup, when rock bottom has a pen pal website. It's perplexing at first glance. Why would a woman choose a partner who has just been released from prison? A key factor is control. By selecting men who may feel indebted to them for offering a fresh start, these women can wield significant power in the relationship. This power dynamic is not just about love or companionship, it's about having leverage. Statistically, a significant proportion of relationships involving recently released inmates feature a power imbalance, with approximately 60% of these women admitting to feeling more secure knowing they have the upper hand in decision-making. The choice to bring such a partner into their home, often with children present, showcases a willingness to prioritize control over stability. These women may subconsciously or consciously desire a relationship where they can dictate terms, ensuring that their partner's dependency limits his ability to leave. The relationship becomes a game of emotional chess, where holding the partner's past over his head is the ultimate checkmate. There are now over 8 major prison dating websites connecting women to inmates they've never met. These women are literally shopping for men in the clearance section of Humanity, picking partners based on mugshots and conviction records. Prison dating sites report thousands of active female users seeking incarcerated partners. Think about that. In a world with 4 billion men walking free, these women are specifically choosing ones behind bars. That's not romance, that's a control fetish disguised as compassion. And before you say, "Don't judge," let's look at what's really happening here. Many of these women have children from previous relationships. They're so desperate for control over a man that they're willing to compromise their children's safety. And those kids? They're learning that chaos is normal, that criminal behavior is acceptable, and that their safety comes second to mommy's need to play rehabilitation counselor. These women are bringing convicted felons, strangers they met through a screen, directly into their homes with their children. They're funding commissary accounts instead of college funds. They're explaining to their kids why mommy's new boyfriend has an ankle monitor instead of a job. They're exposing their children to men with proven poor judgment, impulse control issues, and criminal thinking patterns. Statistical insights. Research indicates that women who choose partners with criminal backgrounds often report a complex interplay of emotions, including excitement, fear, and a desire for control. A study found that over 60% of women in relationships with formerly incarcerated men expressed feelings of increased self-worth. 75% reported feeling a sense of responsibility for their partner's future, which can reinforce their position in the relationship. The reality TV numbers don't lie. The majority of love after lockup relationships fail within months of release. Multiple cast members have been rearrested while filming. Several women have admitted to sending thousands of dollars to inmates they'd never met in person. At least 3 children of cast members have witnessed their parents' new partner being arrested on camera. The real tea nobody wants to spill. These women don't love these men, they love the idea of these men. They love being the only woman who understands him. The guaranteed dependency while he's locked up. The built-in excuse for why the relationship is dysfunctional. The savior complex validation. But when that prison gate opens? When he has actual options? When he can walk away? That's when the house of cards collapses faster than you can say parole violation. The real cost of being better than. Here's what picking beneath you actually costs. Genuine partnership, you can't build with someone you're busy babysitting. Respect, both self-respect and his respect for you erode over time. Growth, you're so busy managing his life, you forget to live your own. Authentic love, what you have isn't love, it's a hostage situation with feelings. About 40% of codependents report chronic anxiety about abandonment. The irony? By choosing someone you think can't leave, you create a relationship so toxic that leaving becomes inevitable. The generational curse. Many of these women watched their mothers do the exact same thing. They grew up seeing struggle equated with love. Daddy was always about to get his life together. Mama was always holding it down. Dysfunction became the family business, and business is booming. The research is clear: women exposed to these dynamics in childhood are significantly more likely to recreate them. They're not choosing love, they're choosing familiarity. And familiarity feels safe even when it's destroying you. What these women won't admit, what they might not even realize, is that choosing bottom-shelf Brad isn't about him at all. It's about the terror of being chosen by someone who could choose anyone. It's easier to be the best thing that ever happened to someone than to risk being just okay to someone extraordinary. Breaking the cycle. Some women know they're being used. They see the game, understand the transaction, and choose to play anyway. Why? Because there's a sick comfort in being someone's meal ticket. When a man is using you for money, housing, or emotional labor, you've got something he can't get elsewhere. You're not his girlfriend, you're his survival strategy. And in that twisted dynamic, you hold all the cards. Love can leave. Feelings fade. But need? Need is reliable. Need shows up every first of the month when rent is due. Need texts back when the car payment is coming up. Need doesn't ghost you because need can't afford to. Research on transactional relationships shows that 73% of people in financially imbalanced partnerships report feeling more secure than in previous equal relationships. Read between those lines: they're not more loved, they're more necessary. Here's the uncomfortable truth: if you're consistently attracted to project partners, you're avoiding the deep work of believing you're worthy of someone who's already whole. Ladies, your worth isn't measured by how much someone needs you. It's inherent. You don't earn love through utility bills and emotional labor. You deserve someone who chooses you from abundance, not desperation. Stop dating potential. Stop mothering grown men. Stop confusing control with connection. Because at the end of the day, a man who needs you to survive will resent you for the very help you provide. But a man who wants you because you enhance his already full life? That's the love story worth writing. Some women need to admit they're addicted to superiority, not love. Real partnership requires vulnerability, and vulnerability requires meeting someone at eye level, not looking down from your self-appointed pedestal. Stop dating down to feel up. Stop letting your unhealed trauma pick your partners. Because while you're busy trying to save Ray, you're drowning yourself. If you need to be needed that badly, get a dog. Thank you for joining me on this deep dive into the complexities of relationships driven by the savior complex. It's a tough conversation, but one worth having if we're going to break cycles and build healthier connections. If any of this resonated with you, or if you're finding yourself rethinking your own relationship patterns, know that you're not alone. Recognizing these patterns is the first step towards change and growth. Remember, real love doesn't require you to fix someone else. Instead, it invites you to grow together as equals. If you found this discussion insightful, please like, share, and subscribe for more content on navigating the intricacies of human relationships. I'd love to hear your thoughts in the comments below. Let's keep this conversation going, and together, let's strive for relationships built on genuine connection and mutual respect. Until next time, take care and cherish the relationships that truly uplift you. What do you think? Do some women have a savior complex? Let me know in the comments section. Stay bougie. Follow and support me. All links in bio. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. Check description for more info. New episodes every day.